Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and yes, today I'm gonna be serious again. So, I have for some weird reason lately been watching some videos where I see celebrities who are dealing with mental disorders. And I think that these celebrities are somebody to look up to. So, therefore I want to talk a little bit about mental illness, and really I can't really relate. I can sort of, but not really. For those of you who didn't know, in ninth grade, I went through a very depressive state. However, I am not depressed. I'm not. I don't have depression, but everybody can end up being depressed once in a while, or like for one period of time during your life. However, this does not mean you are depressed or you have depression. Unless this happens more than once, I think. The thing is, I see a difference between people who are diagnosed with depression and me who was depressed once. And therefore, I want to say that people who suffers with depression, they are so strong. First of all, just want to put it out there. You guys who are suffering from depression, you guys are so strong, and I'm super, super proud of you if you hold out. And also, if you're not, then I'm gonna be here to support you, even though I don't know much. Like I said, I went through a depressive time in ninth grade. However, like I said, there's a difference. I was not diagnosed with depression, and it went off after like half a year, and it never came back. If it do come back, then I sure as hell will see how long that lasts, and if it gets worse, I will see a doctor, or I will go and get help. But I don't have it as bad as people who actually are diagnosed, or people that are not sure, but they feel depressed a lot. Then I'm just going to say that those people are different from me, because mine stopped for some reason, because I stopped being depressed for some reason. Something helped me and I got out of that. However, these people, they work so hard with having to deal with this every single day, and they're role models. Other people with mental disorders are also very worthy to look up to, because these people, and most people, they don't deserve this. These people that are diagnosed with any kind of mental illness, I'm pretty sure that they don't deserve it unless they've done something like very horrible and will stay that way. But I think that most people with a mental illness, they don't deserve this. The fact that they hold out with this and manage so well is so worthy to look up to, and they are the real role models of the world. Those that will speak out about it, or those that just go through with it and still lives on even when they're suffering. One of the characters in TV shows and stuff that I look up to, as we all know, I have only ever finished the anime Hetalia, which really isn't much about that, and the TV show Scum. And I looked up to Evan a lot throughout the series when we got to see throughout the 2 seasons he was in, because he dealt with bipolar disorder, and Evan really was somebody to look up to. And the fact that he has his bipolar and also pansexual is just like he's part of the LGBT and has a mental disorder, and to see things happen, like he's like having a mother who is schizophrenic, and having met Magnus' mother who is bipolar as well. Yeah. And so I was really happy with seeing TV shows taking up mental illness. I do not like it when people romanticize it, like people finally starting to care about them after some shit have happened. Isa kind of realized what he did and was so afraid that Evan's going to do something, and because he still loved him, and he had been crushing on him for so long. So differences, get it? I had to pick it up as I was talking about mental illness. I was in a political debate with school because I was one of those that had to ask the questions to the different political parties. As in Norway, we have a lot of those. I asked about, and I got the question, as it was somebody else who actually was supposed to ask this. I ended up being the one asking because they didn't show up. And the question was, I need to think. I probably have it somewhere around here. Whoa, holy shit, it's actually this one. I'm gonna say it in Norwegian before trying to translate it into English. I'm giving up on this one. Okay, there we go. I got to ask the question, hvorfor det så få fagfolk I den psykiske helsetjenesten rettet mot ungdom? Why is it so, people working people in the psychological health service directed to youth, basically, to us young ones, basically, because there is few people I feel that are going to help young people with their mental health, and I think that should be more of that. And I was very strict in my voice when I wrote it. When I read that, I was like, why? And then I got my answers. I'm sorry. And yeah, I asked this and they looked at me when they answered, understanding this was something very serious to me. And it's not just because I'm a Scum fan. It's not just because Ev means a lot to me. It's not just because of that. It's not just because Demi Lovato is one of my biggest role models, especially as a child. It's not just because of that. Or because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Okay? It's not just because of my Star Wars addiction. Thanks to my dad. I'm just kidding. Not because I love Star Wars. Not just because I look up Demi Lovato. Not just because of Scum. It's because mental illness is something very serious, and I think that this should be taken up a lot more often. During 8th to 10th grade, we had this week called Psykisk helseuke, which was a week dedicated to help to the mental health. It was directed to mental health. And I really wished I saw Scum before we had this, as we had to talk about a mental illness or fear, anything like that, or phobia basically. If I would have known this before, I would have asked my teacher if I could talk about bipolar disorder, but I did end up talking about the fear of fire, as somebody do have that, and some people talked about schizophrenia, schizophrenic, it's such a hard word, being about schizophrenic, about other fears, about I totally forgot what it's called. It's a lot of different ones they had about. However, if I've known about Scum before, I would have talked about bipolar disorder. I'm pretty freaking sure I would. Yeah, I didn't watch season 3 until later, so bear with me. But really, I think that people with mental illness, something to work, you should look up to these people. They fight every single day. They have to take their meds and deal with this. And I get that if you have broken your foot or end up in an accident, that's bad as well. But I think that mental health is something that can affect you, and you will end up maybe hurting yourself physically as well. Then you can. There are people who deal with disorders, mental disorders, that leads to them getting into accidents, and then they will end up having a double up. Get me? You get me, right? And if I want to say that, I hope I'm not being misunderstood throughout this video. All I'm saying is people with mental illnesses, they're fighting truly a battle, and everybody's fighting a battle. Like, I'm gonna quote what stood on Noah's wall during season 2, if you remember. Everyone is fighting a battle, be kind always. everyone is fighting their own battle, and people with mental illness are fighting a really hard battle. People fighting with coming out and dealing with their sexuality, they're also fighting a hard battle. I'm just gonna say that everybody's fighting a battle, but seeing that, I'm just like, sometimes if I get to hear like maybe one of my friends without me knowing might have a mental illness and I don't know, like I want to be able to support them. I know I'm not gonna be able to cure or fix them. Like, no, the thing is, you can't fix a mental disorder. However, what you can is help them. You can help being supportive. You can't help them getting in the way, but you can help being supportive, being there for them. And I think that and it's not about being controlling over them. You shouldn't be controlling over the person. Like for you being seen scum, Sonia was controlling over Evan and such, and that was one of the reasons things didn't work out, right? But you should be supportive, you should be there for them, and if you know that something is not right, then you just have to be there for them. You don't need to take care of them like they're a baby, basically, because no matter what, okay, I don't like that, because for those of you who remember in episode 8, Sonia said that the reason I said that Evan was manic, and then that could be, and then people think that was the reason that Evan was acting so in love with Isak, that it was like it was his feelings. No, because you can only feel what you feel, like Isak said, and that is basically that. A mental illness does not affect exactly your feelings, it can make them stronger, but if you are in love with the person, you really are in love with them, then your mental illness isn't going to affect your way of thinking about how you love them. Like, I remember when I was being sort of depressed, I remember one thing that actually happened, that was that I felt that I should have stopped crushing on that guy, because I felt not good enough. But then again, nobody ever feels good enough for their crush. If they do, then I don't know. But the fact that people would think that because he was manic, that was why he was in love with Isak, then that's just wrong, because your mental illness is not going to affect your feelings for a person. That's what I think. I personally don't know, but that's what I personally think, because I think that's just stupid that supposedly that's going to affect it. Are we done talking about mental illness and sad stuff? Because I think I'm not being serious and I'm going to do my homework. So I will see you guys later. Stay safe, take care of yourself. If there's anything that I did talk earlier about something and made a mail for people if they need help or something, then they could just message me there. You can comment down below telling me about if there's anything with you, or you can just tell me what you think about this topic. I know this video is long, but it's about a serious topic. It's really serious, and mental illness is something we should take up more often. Your mental health is so important, and nobody should tell you otherwise. And if somebody talks shit about you, then send them to me. I will fight them. Okay? Because I take care of you guys. Anyways, guys, I will see you guys later. Bye.